When your cat suddenly stretches the moment they notice you, have you ever wondered what that really means? At first glance, it just looks like a normal stretch. Maybe they're loosening their body after resting. But what if that simple movement actually carries a message most cat owners completely miss? In fact, for many cats, this moment is one of the most personal ways they try to communicate with their human. And when people ignore it, which happens more often than you'd think, they might be overlooking one of the quiet ways their cat tries to connect. So let's take a closer look at what that stretch really means. 1. It's not just about stretching muscles. Most people assume cats stretch for the same reason we do, to relieve stiffness. But there's something interesting about the timing. Have you noticed that cats often stretch right when you walk into the room? Not 5 minutes before. Not when they're completely alone. Right when you appear. If stretching were only about muscles, the timing wouldn't be so specific. Animal behavior researchers sometimes describe this as a social stretch, a body movement triggered by the presence of someone the cat recognizes. In other words, your arrival becomes the signal. Your cat sees you, and their brain decides now is the moment. That timing is part of the communication. And what makes it even more fascinating is that cats don't perform this behavior equally with everyone. Some people in the house will see it often. Others might rarely see it at all, which suggests something very simple but meaningful. Your cat may actually be showing preference. 2. Some of these signals develop specifically around humans. Here's something many people don't realize. A lot of behaviors we see in house cats don't appear the same way in wild cats. Wild cats rarely need to communicate with humans. So many of their signals are directed towards survival, hunting, or interactions with other cats. But domestic cats have lived alongside humans for thousands of years. During that time, their behavior slowly adapted. For example, adult cats often mew at humans, but rarely at other adult cats. The slow blink many cat lovers recognize is another signal linked with trust. And certain greeting behaviors, including stretching in front of people, may have developed as part of living closely with humans. Studies in animal behavior suggest that domestic cats use a unique set of social signals when interacting with people, not with prey. Not always with other cats, but specifically with us. So when your cat performs one of these gestures in front of you, it may actually be part of a communication system shaped by thousands of years of human companionship. 3. Their paws may also leave scent markers. There's another hidden layer to this behavior that most people never think about. Cats have scent glands in several places on their bodies. Some are around the face, others are near the tail. And interestingly, there are also glands located between their paw pads. When cats press their paws against surfaces during kneading or stretching, these glands can release very subtle scent markers. Humans can't detect them, but other cats can. So when your cat stretches near you, on your couch, or beside the bed where you sleep, they may also be leaving a scent signal behind. It's not aggressive territory marking. It's closer to what behaviorists describe as comfort territory, a way of saying this space feels familiar and safe, and sometimes that includes you. To another cat, that scent could quietly communicate something like, "This is part of my safe environment." 4. Why some people see this behavior more than others. If you live in a household with multiple people, you might notice something interesting. Your cat might stretch frequently when one person enters the room, but barely react when someone else does. That's not random. Cats tend to form stronger bonds with certain individuals. Researchers studying cat-human interactions have found that cats often show more social behaviors toward the people they feel most comfortable with. These behaviors can include more eye contact, more vocal sounds, more slow blinks, and sometimes
Hey,
more
kitty,
greeting
good to see
gestures
you.
like stretching.
Aw.
So if your cat walks past someone else but immediately stretches when you arrive, it could simply mean they feel especially relaxed around you. Cats don't distribute their attention equally. Their trust is selective, and once earned, it tends to be very consistent. The morning stretch greeting. Another moment when many cats stretch is early in the morning. You open your eyes, and there they are. Your cat stretches beside the bed almost immediately. This may also relate to natural feline activity cycles. Cats are crepuscular, meaning they tend to be most active around dawn and dusk. So while you were sleeping, your cat may have been awake long before you. Yet the stretch often happens only when you wake up. Some behaviorists believe this could function as a greeting ritual, a kind of reset to start the day, almost like the feline equivalent of saying, "Good morning, you're awake now." There's also a subtle element of vulnerability in stretching. When animals stretch, they briefly expose sensitive parts of their body. Doing that near someone suggests a level of comfort and trust. 6. Why cats sometimes stretch right in your path. Have you ever noticed your cat stretching exactly where you're about to walk? Right in the doorway, in the hallway, or directly between you and the kitchen? It can feel like terrible timing, but cats are extremely aware of their environment. They know your usual walking routes, and placing themselves in those paths almost guarantees you'll notice them. From the cat's perspective, it's a reliable way to capture your attention. They could stretch anywhere in the room, but choosing the one place you must pass through ensures the interaction happens. Many
Hey there,
cat
little
owners
one.
instinctively
Having fun?
pause,
You're
look
such a
down,
playful
or
kitty.
say something
I
to
love
their
these
pet,
moments with you.
which means the strategy works. Your cat gets acknowledgement. Even a brief moment of your attention can reinforce the behavior. 7. What if your cat never does this? Now you might be wondering something else. What if your cat never stretches when they see you? First, that's not necessarily a bad sign. Every cat expresses comfort differently. Some cats show affection through proximity, others through vocal sounds, and some through quiet observation. But if a cat never stretches around people, there are usually two possibilities. Either the cat hasn't fully relaxed in the environment yet, or they've learned that stretching doesn't lead to interaction. Cats are excellent learners. If a behavior repeatedly gets no response, they may simply stop using it. The good news is that communication with cats can always improve. Small responses can make a difference. A gentle word, a slow blink, or simply pausing to acknowledge them. Over time, these tiny signals teach your cat that their communication is being noticed. And once a cat realizes their signals are understood, they often start using them more. Because for cats, connection isn't loud, it's subtle, quiet, and sometimes it begins with something as simple as a stretch.